Hello and welcome to NewsX Deep Dive. I'm Asafri Jindal and today we will be looking at the historic Gaza Declaration. At Sharm el-Sheikh, the US, Egypt, Qatar and Turkey signed a declaration as guarantors of a Gaza deal aimed at ending 2 years of conflict and ensuring peace in the region. The official signing ceremony of the agreement included the Turkey President Erdogan, Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi along with US President Donald Trump. However, Israel and Hamas, the two parties expected to implement the plan, were notably absent from the event, even though this came hours after Israel and Hamas exchanged hostages and prisoners. US President Donald Trump stated that the document is going to spell out rules and regulations and expressed optimism that is going to hold up. With his trademark personal style, Trump put several foreign leaders in awkward positions as they listened to his often unconventional remarks during the Gaza Declaration event. He told Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni that he would call her beautiful, though if someone said it in America, they might get in trouble for it. He told the Egyptian president that when he looked out of the window of the Air Force One, he hoped that escorts of 6 fighter jets from Egypt was friendly. He also thanked Iraq for attending the event, but stated that they have so much oil that they don't know what to do with it. However, when it came to India, he stated, and I quote, "India is a great country and a very good friend of mine is at the top." Take a listen.
Italy, we have a woman, a young woman who's, I'm not allowed to say it because usually it's the end of your political career if you say it. She's a beautiful young woman. Now, if you use the word beautiful in the United States about a woman, that's the end of your political career, but I'll take my chances. Where is she? There she is. You don't mind being called beautiful, right? Because you are. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. I also want to thank the president for the escort of 6 fighter jets. Oh, we looked out the window. We said, I hope they're friendly, and they turned out to be very friendly. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. I would imagine Emmanuel standing someplace behind me. Where is he? I can't believe it. You're taking a low-key approach today. He's my friend. With lots of oil, they have so much oil, they don't know what to do with it. That's a big problem when you have so much, you have no idea what to do with it. So thank you very much thank you very much. A great country with a very good friend of mine at the top, and he's just done a fantastic job. And I think that Pakistan and India are going to live very nicely together, right? That's not a very, they are. And they're two great, I tell you, leaders, great leaders as far as I'm concerned.
The signing of a document on the Gaza ceasefire deal has triggered a wave of global reactions, with world leaders calling it a new chapter for peace that could bring lasting stability in the region. World leaders also welcomed the release of hostages and even pledged support for the next steps towards rebuilding Gaza. US President Donald Trump described the outcome as a monumental moment in the history of the world, beyond the Middle East. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the peace efforts in Gaza, he added that the efforts are making decisive progress. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi hailed this as the last war in the Middle East and pledged to work to establish foundations needed to advance Gaza's reconstruction. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer stated that UK would support the crucial next stage of talks to ensure implementation of the peace plan, while Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney welcomed the release of hostages. According to the document, the signatories pledged to pursue a comprehensive vision of peace, security and shared prosperity in the region, and also welcomed the progress achieved in establishing comprehensive and durable peace agreements in the Gaza Strip. The statement, released after an international summit in Egypt's Sharm el-Sheikh is a rare acknowledgement by the administration of US President Donald Trump that Palestinians and Israelis deserve equal rights. Notably, it reframes the struggle in Gaza as a part of the broader Palestinian question. However, the statement does not explicitly acknowledge Palestinians' right to statehood and self-determination. The statement is also vague about the path ahead for peace between Israel and its neighbors, including the Palestinians, making no mention of a one or two state solution. The text includes a clear reference to the need to eliminate extremism and radicalism. Special emphasis is placed on the religious and cultural significance of the region and the protection of holy sites. It prioritizes diplomacy as the means to resolve conflicts. In fact, for decades, the Middle East has been defined by conflicts, but also by efforts at peace. Two landmark agreements signed nearly 3 decades apart, the Oslo Accords of 1993 and the Abraham Accords of 2020, continue to shape the region's political and diplomatic landscape. In 1993, on the White House lawn, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat shook hands, brokered by US President Bill Clinton. The Oslo Accords marked the first direct face-to-face agreement between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization. It sparked hope that decades of hostility could finally end. But as years passed, the peace process stumbled. Fast forward to 2020, under the mediation of then US President Donald Trump, Israel signed the Abraham Accords with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, later joined by Sudan and Morocco. Unlike Oslo, these agreements did not center on Palestinian issues. Instead, they established full diplomatic, economic, and security relations between Israel and Arab states that had never officially recognized it. For the UAE and Bahrain, the accords opened access to Israeli technology, trade, and defense cooperation. For Israel, it was a major diplomatic breakthrough, normalizing ties in a region that long rejected its legitimacy. The difference between Oslo and Abraham is striking. Oslo was built on the belief that peace begins with solving the Palestinian question. Abraham, meanwhile, bypassed it, prioritizing regional normalization first and leaving Palestinian statehood unresolved. The road to permanent peace and the remaking of the new Middle East remains long and difficult. And even though in Israel and the Sharm el-Sheikh, the first pages of a peace plan for a new Middle East of peace and prosperity have begun to be written, many chapters remain unwritten. Following the Sharm el-Sheikh summit, the next challenging phase begins: the disagreement of Hamas, the start of Gaza's reconstruction, the withdrawal of Israeli forces, the creation of a Palestinian security force, the formation of an international stabilization mission, and crucially, the establishment of a peace council to oversee Gaza's governance. We've, of course, now taken you through the Gaza Declaration, the history behind it. On that note, a quick short break.